So I thought I'd shoot you a video on some of the things that like happen. I know we do so much here, and it's just I can't document all of it. But thought I'd show you some of the drills that we run that maybe have principles that you can take forward. So this is a setup called a chain gang, and obviously you see your boy. He stands out in the shadows, and we're in the shadows because it's hot. But maybe as he moves, you can see there's a uniform, or there's a central line, a central chain on the ground, and each of the dogs has a short tether moving from the ground to them, so it limits jumping. And there's actually 4 dogs out there. There's a little pit bull to the right of the big black dog. There's the big black dog. There's your boy, and then there's a little golden retriever to the left of Pongo. And this drill, it's similar to benching, except the dogs can be a lot closer. It's the step between teaching a dog to be comfortable being ignored and to go without, and how to interact a little more thoroughly. So the different attitudes come to this, and we do a lot of different setups. In this setup, we've got the 2 dogs who are more likely to be obnoxious in play groups are in the middle, and the dogs who are having an easier time entertaining themselves and being less obnoxious in a play group are on the ends. So the dogs in the middle can't fully engage because the lines get tight. They can't jump upwards because their mobility is limited. So they're encouraged to occupy this down, a laying down position, which inherently is going to have more respectful behaviors than the dogs who are competing for being on top. So here you're seeing a little bit of competition between them as they're rolling. One of them puts the head on top, the other one puts the head on top. We're looking now, that starts to become dominant posturing. He's going to sit up, and you're going to see multiple things. There we go. That's a really nice little interaction there of going, hey, that's rude. Go back down to where you're not rude, and then, okay, I'm going to interact with you again. But we do this before we would ever take these 2 dogs into a loose play yard together. Because if we turn them loose in the play yard with unlimited physical ability, they're going to be climbing on top of each other. They're going to be trying to hump each other. They're going to be trying to establish some sort of pack hierarchy. Somebody's going to get their feelings hurt. Somebody's going to snap at the other one, and they're going to learn that they have to establish themselves and stand up for themselves when loose, because people aren't going to do it for them, and the other dog can't be reasoned with or isn't going to make good choices unless they stand up for themselves. And we don't ever want to put dogs into situations where they have to stand up for themselves, because they then take that energy into other interactions. Other dogs they encounter on leash, other social settings, people coming into the home, those become situations where the dog recognizes enough similarities to the play yard where they have to establish what's okay and what isn't, and that inevitably leads to behaviors that we don't want: more barking, more defensiveness, more guardedness, more biting, all of it. So between relaxation exercises when new social stimulus are introduced to the area and controlled socialization in this way, we can ultimately turn them into free-ranging creatures that make less conflict-prone decisions in social settings. We incorporate muzzles during this process. So before these guys were loose, there were muzzles involved. I'll also adjudicate if I need to. So here I may end up calling that big black dog off. Nice. I didn't have to because Pongo removed himself. So what Pongo did right there was say, hey, if you're going to start humping, I'm going to get out of here. And he got out of there, and then the big black dog went, oh yeah, he doesn't like it when I do that. He does like it when I do this. And he laid back down, and then Pongo went back to engaging with him. Now the big black dog's just kind of testing things. Pongo went there and said, I don't like that, and They just keep working it out. So this is healthy interaction where the dogs are learning to remove themselves from conflict rather than engage harder. So instead of meeting force with force, they learn to be diplomatic. Yeah, that's the chain gang. In this context, there's a lot of other things. I don't want you to think that you've heard this and you know everything about chain ganging, but this is one way to utilize it.